Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's 1 Million by 1 Million Strategy Roundtable for Entrepreneurs. 1M1M, as you know, is the first global virtual accelerator in the world. Our mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million in annual revenue and beyond, build $1 trillion in global GDP and 10 million jobs. And in support of this mission, we've been doing these free public roundtable mentoring sessions for a long time. This is our 308th session. Can you believe it? And it's been going on for, since 2008 is when we first started experimenting with it. So these roundtables actually predate the 1M1M program in its current form. The event is being recorded. You will have a recording available on our blog as well as on the YouTube channel. If you are live tweeting the show, please use hashtag 1M1M. And our Twitter handles are at 1M by 1M and at Stromana. Feel free to follow us. We publish a lot of interesting content. The 1M1M Roundtables channel on YouTube also has every single recording of these sessions as well as other content which you would find interesting, another good material source to learn from. These are the call-in instructions. We're not quite ready for calling in yet, so we'll put this up again later on, but do remember that this is a roundtable and we want you to participate as much as possible. So do, as you're going through the session with us, do file away your questions, and when we are ready for Q&A, please come and discuss, open up issues, and we will for sure engage with you as much as possible. We're going to start the session today with Jeremy Young, our special guest, CEO and founder of Tanga Network. I met Jeremy a little while ago and listened to his story, and I found it fascinating, so I invited him back to talk to you all. Jeremy, welcome. It's great to have you here.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, we can hear you fine.
Perfect.
So, Jeremy, let's start by introducing our audience to Tanga. What is the business?
So Tanga is a marketplace for deal seekers. So what we try to do is create that aha moment for every single customer every single day, where we put something in front of you that you didn't even know you wanted, but you have to have.
You are talking so louder.
So
what's going on, Maureen? Can you cut the line? Whoever is streaming echo into the call. Please go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, sorry about that. So, we try to create that thrill of discovery for our customers, where every single day we put a product in front of them where they didn't even know that they had to have it, but they want to buy it because it's such an incredible fit. It's at the best of web price point. And so really, we want to have millions of products in our marketplace and use our technology that we're building in order to match products to people.
So, Jeremy, when we talked, you drew some comparisons with Groupon that I thought were helpful in understanding your business. And the reason I am particularly interested in, framing your business in that mode is obviously Groupon didn't work out and your business works just fine. So tell us a little bit about what are the similarities and differences between your business versus Groupon.
Sure. So, first of all, Tanga is kind of like that best friend, right, where we are not this big corporation with billions of dollars of cash to burn through customers and burn through vendors. Really, we're real people working with our vendors to foster relationships that lead to real deals. And so we're really making fast strides in our technology where we're using programming, AI, plus human nuance to match products to people, which I think is different than what any other marketplace or daily deal company is doing currently. Because of our great relationships, we have access to vendors that work with Groupon, but because they have such onerous terms, they wait for a long time to list deals, and we're able to create those personal relationships. We're able to get products and deals even before Groupon does. We have the best customer service in the industry according to reseller ratings. We've got the best Dun & Bradstreet score, and we're really trying to create best of web price points for our customers and put the right product in front of the right person at the right time at the right price point. And so we feel like if we continue to do that and build these personal relationships with our customers, we'll continue to win.
So tell us a little bit more about how you work with your supply side merchants. Obviously, the terms are different, and how does this matchmaking work? What is the sweet sauce in figuring out what the merchants have to offer and how that gets placed in front of your consumers?
Sure. So the first question, the supply side and how we work with our vendors. So we work in a number of different ways. So really 4 different ways. One is the vendors come to us with buy opportunities, and they say, hey, we have 5,000 Adidas iPhone cases, and we can pick them up for just pennies on the dollar. And sometimes we'll take those opportunity buys, put them into our warehouse, and then sell them through our warehouse. The other way is pre-sale deals. So some vendors don't have the ability to drop ship, but they will hold inventory for certain amounts of time where we can list it, try to blow out as much as we can, and then ship that product to our warehouse, which then gets distributed to the customer. The other way is just working with drop shippers, which is a vast majority of our business. So these companies send products directly to the consumer, and we have amazing relationships with some of the best dropship vendor partners in the country, and we work with thousands of them. And it looks like it's coming from Tanga, but the dropship partners are dealing with all the logistics behind the scenes and sending us back tracking. And then sometimes we do some manufacturing. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
How many small merchants do you work with?
How many merchants?
Yeah.
Yeah, we work with thousands of merchants, and it continues to grow every single day. In fact, we just integrated with Channel Advisor, if you're familiar with them.
Sure.
They're a publicly traded company that basically allows e-commerce merchants to put their inventory in one location, and then Channel Advisor creates the ad listing or the product listings on Amazon, eBay, Sears, Buy.com. Now Tanga was just announced about a month ago to be one of their newest merchants, and so now people can, with a click of a button, upload their entire catalog to our website.
And are there specific categories in which you have, significant presence?
Yeah, we do really, really well in health and beauty, home products, electronics, accessories, and sporting good apparel does really well for us for some reason, but those really are our biggest categories currently.
Jeremy, I was flying back from London yesterday, and I watched the movie Joy on the flight. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I haven't, but I know about it.
Your business, somehow, because I saw it so recently, it just kind of reminds me of it's a modern version of what Joy did with QVC, isn't it?
Right, exactly. Yeah, trying to find those kind of unique products that resonate with a specific subset of our customer base and putting that product in front of them.
In a way that customers can get their arms around and resonate with, yeah.
Correct,
so
yeah.
Folks, I will suggest that all of you have a look at this film as you're listening to Jeremy and understanding Tanga's business. This film, Joy, is a very interesting depiction of an entrepreneur who, managed to create a significant business through a channel like Tanga, but in her case it was QVC. So flipping sides, Jeremy, how do you acquire customers?
So our customer acquisition has been mainly through affiliate. We have some of the best affiliate relationships in the industry. That's one of our strong points, and one of our core values as a company is building strong relationships. And so affiliate is very, very strong for us. We also are very good at word of mouth. We do some SEM and referral marketing. Email marketing is very strong for us as well. We've grown that hundreds and hundreds of percent year over year over the past 3 years. And yeah, it's a word of mouth, affiliates, and some SEM and some retargeting. That's kind of the bread and butter of what we do.
And what is the average, annual revenue that a merchant who's part of your network would be able to do through your network?
The average is probably skewed really low because we do have lots of merchants that just sell handfuls of products every month. But if you have a decent catalog of hundreds of products that are best of web branded, really great deals, I mean, you can push millions of dollars through our platform, and we have some partners that actually do that. And so it really just depends on how aggressive you can be with price points and what type of branded product you own. And so it's all over the board depending on the types of products that you have available.
So your power seller, eBay power seller equivalent are those millions of dollars selling merchants, yes?
Correct, yeah. People who have great catalogs, best of web price points, good volume of the quantity available, we can do a lot of business with you.
And how many are we talking? Hundreds of those kinds of merchants, or 20?
There's probably 50 to 60 kind of the power sellers, but we literally have thousands of merchants we work with.
Sellers, yeah, sure,
yeah.
Understood. Very interesting. Now, what are the unit economics of your business? And I specifically want to highlight why Groupon imploded with dreadful unit economics while you have a very healthy business that you have bootstrapped and you're growing nicely. What are the contrasts? Why is their business imploding the way it is and yours is a steady, obviously they're, pushing billions of dollars, that's fine, but if you are losing money at that scale, pushing billions of dollars, in my opinion, is not very useful.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, in my estimation, your business is a much healthier, much more robust, sustainable business than Groupon's ever was or will be. So help us understand why you have a healthy business and they don't.
I think we can kind of look back in the 90s, right? Because I had businesses back then where people were coming to us, people who had made a ton of money in Amazon, for example, and said, hey, we need to throw $100 million at your web hosting company, and let's just lose money at all costs and grow at all costs. And if we would have done that, my first web hosting company that I started would have imploded just like all of these other companies seem to be doing. It's just a different mindset where, obviously Groupon had hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars of investment, and they were trying to grow at all costs and losing money at all costs to try to grow those revenues and customer base, where we are much, much smaller, obviously. But one of our core values is, we don't say it like this, but we act like we're poor because we are bootstrapped. We need to have a sustainable business, and every employee needs to act like it's their money. And so if we are losing money for the sake of customer acquisition that doesn't have an ROI, it's just not sustainable. And so for us, we try to have a healthy margin. We try to have, control our costs, make smart decisions when hiring. If things aren't working out with an employee because of the wrong culture fit or they're not producing and acting like the CEO of their position, which is another core value of Tanga, then we have to let them go and really find people who can, move this company forward and act like a CEO of the company. And so I think that's where we win, is the relationship side. We act like we're poor. We don't spend money on customer acquisition that doesn't make sense. And we're just trying to be smart about building the business organically.
So you're not that small. As a bootstrap company, you're going to be at about $27 million in revenue in 2016. Where do you go from here? Do you want to keep running the business in this mode? Do you want to sell to private equity, raise money, and grow further? How are you thinking about your options in front of you?
So 27 was last year, so we'll actually be about 32 to 33 this year, and that's just on the Tanga side. We have multiple properties, but so what do we want to do moving forward? So I love bootstrapping and running my own company. I've done the other type of funding and raising money through VCs, and it's different. It changes the dynamic of the business. There are some very good benefits if you can do it right, but I have had experience myself and loads and loads of other friends who have raised money, and for one reason or the another, they were too aggressive in their targets and they didn't hit targets, and pretty soon they're out of the company that they started. And that's not something that interests me. I really love the feeling of the family atmosphere that we've created at Tanga with my employees. and I don't want to spend 3 weeks out of 4 weeks managing my investors and getting ready for the next board meeting, when I should be focusing on the customer and the customer experience at Tanga and growing my own company. And it's a great lifestyle business. And but would I ever, never say never. If I found the right partner that was able to provide more than just a check and allowed me to keep control of my business and allow me to run the business the way that I feel like it needs to be run, and then offers additional services. For example, as we continue to grow and scale, it's going to be harder and harder to keep the growth up. So customer acquisition will become more and more important. If they can write a check as well as give us access to portfolio companies or services where they've nailed customer acquisition at specific price points where we can be profitable, for example, that would be super interesting to me because I don't want to spend a dollar unless we can get that dollar back in a reasonable amount of time. So if there are VCs or more likely probably PE, private equity, or growth equity companies. Yeah, they would probably be more interested in a company like ours. If they have those types of portfolio companies that can help us grow either through product or customer acquisition or traffic to the website, which we know how to convert, then I would be open to it. Under the right terms, I definitely would be open to it. But right now, we're trying to run a sustainable business, keep growing profitability, keep growing top-line revenue, and really focusing on the customer experience, making them feel like we know them, giving them that personal experience every single day, either through interacting with customer service or interacting on the website or the emails that they get, and having me, even the face of the company, become more a part of Tanga where they feel like they know us, they know me, and having that personal relationship with us.
So, slightly different question as I'm listening to you. In your category, this home, lifestyle, beauty, apparel, these kinds of categories, there's a whole bunch of very large media properties out there that are not monetizing very well, right? There are so many content companies. Their roots are not in commerce, but in content. And they have, I know of one, I'm not going to name it, but it's one of the largest in the category that has 200 million users a month. Now, is there a way for you to work with one of these to really leverage their traffic as well as give them a way to monetize their traffic?
Absolutely, and it's funny you bring this up because we just had this conversation yesterday. So, one of the hallmarks of the way I do business is trying to find partners that have things that we don't have. So when I started Tanga, I partnered with a company called Board Game Geek because our focus was on board games and family entertainment products. They had millions of users, and then we were able to have a relationship where we monetized their users and pushed them to Tanga. And so absolutely 100% yes, we look at those types of partnerships. We are looking currently for those types of partnerships. And those are things that will definitely help propel and move the business forward.
Okay, maybe I'll introduce you to someone on that one.
That would be wonderful. I would love that.
All right. So the next question I have is more of a geography question. You are doing this out of Arizona, which I love, by the way. I love the fact that this is happening everywhere now. It's not just Silicon Valley. It's not just a few pockets. It's happening everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit about what is it like to do your entrepreneurship work from Arizona? What is the environment like? What is good about it? What is bad about it? What are you finding? What are you not finding?
Sure. We actually moved to Arizona based on weather. So we wanted to get out of Seattle. It was killing us. It was the year we moved, there were 180 days of straight rain. And when we flew down to the desert, my son was 3. And he looked out the window of the car and asked what the glowy thing was in the sky. Like, he literally did not know what the sun was. And so we moved down here not even knowing about the business climate, but it's actually been really, really nice. I mean, there are some disadvantages, but let's talk about the advantages first. So great state to do business, somewhat low taxes, cities that are very interested in building high-tech businesses that can offer incentives through specific leases of buildings and taxes and things like that. You do have ASU, which has, I think, over 100,000 students. I mean, it's a huge, huge university. And ASU is starting to get some amazing accolades, through different awards that they've received through innovation. I think they were rated the #1 innovated university in the United States, beating out Stanford this year. And so you have that type of employee base to pick from through ASU. And the weather is unbelievable, really. I mean, right now, okay, I have to admit, last Sunday, taking my wife out to a date in Scottsdale, it did hit 118. But it's really not that bad. We actually sat outside at True Food in Scottsdale under the misters in the shade, and we actually felt a little cold. So you acclimate to the weather very, very quickly. Beautiful landscapes, great places to hike, hunt, fish, camp, and you can do it pretty much all year round. And great sports teams, right? We have every major sports team in Phoenix and the surrounding areas. Great restaurants, things to do.
So talent
really
is not a problem. You're able to find talent quite easily through the ASU network.
So that's the biggest problem, right? Is when you are searching for like great full stack Ruby developers or really technical help, it is a challenge to find help. It's getting easier because you have companies like Infusionsoft and GoDaddy and some of these other companies that are bringing in that type of talent. So it is getting easier, and we hope to increase that over the next 10 years where we're kind of like another Salt Lake City or, we aren't there yet, but I think we will be there soon. And so that is the biggest challenge, is finding good, solid technical help. But we've been lucky. Just a couple weeks ago, we recruited someone from San Francisco and Austin to come and move here, and so far we've been able to make it work.
There's actually a trend that a lot of people are reporting on, is that people are trying to move out. Some people are trying to move out of the Bay Area because the prices here, house prices and general cost of living is completely out of whack.
Yeah, absolutely.
People want quality of life, and I imagine it's still a very affordable, high-quality lifestyle in your area.
It definitely is. Yeah, I mean, you can buy a 4,000 square foot home for $300,000 or $400,000, beautiful with pool, even brand new build. So it's definitely a great place to live, great place to raise a family.
And are you involved with the local entrepreneurship community? Do you see a lot of entrepreneurs working on new companies in your orbit?
We do. I've really tried to start networking more over the past year. I was really heads down in my business for the first several years. I don't know if you knew this. I was just given the award of CEO of the Year for Tech CEO of the Year in Arizona a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, congratulations. That's great.
Thank you. Yeah, it was very, very nice. And so I'm starting to get more and more involved in like Yes Phoenix and Startup Week and some of the entrepreneur groups here, mentoring as well as speaking, and there's a lot going on. There's a great guy that I know that just started a startup fund to try to fund 20 to 30 tech startups in the Valley, and so I think you're going to see more and more tech entrepreneurship blossoming here in Phoenix.
Fabulous. Great. So Jeremy, let's listen together to some of the presenters, and then we will see what the audience wants to ask you as well.
Perfect.
All right, folks, for those of you who will be presenting today, I just want to set a few expectations. Please know that we are on your side. We have no agenda whatsoever other than helping you move forward and accelerate your journey. So we'll try to give you feedback based on our experience, and hopefully that will give you some nuggets with which you can move forward faster. Now, if you disagree with either of our feedback, please don't feel bad. That's quite natural. Just think about it and see, make your decisions. You will finally, it's your business, you'll make your decisions. We will give you our feedback, our perspective, but you feel free to disagree with all of that. Now, one thing we see over and over again is this obsession with raising money. And you just heard Jeremy describe his journey. He has chosen not to raise money for a variety of reasons. Not all businesses can raise money, by the way. And raising money doesn't guarantee success. As we discussed earlier, Groupon has raised huge hundreds of millions of dollars and is not working. So that means it doesn't guarantee success. So the other thing is not all businesses should raise money. Some businesses need to be built organically on a bootstrap basis because of the characteristics of those businesses, and you need to understand what should be fundable, what is fundable, what should be funded, etc. There's quite a bit of knowledge that you need to acquire on that subject before making your decision. Don't just get focused on raising money as your entrepreneurship goal. And if you're not pitching, please participate. We like you to ask questions, and it's a roundtable, so we want you to be as engaged and on the issues as possible. So we're going to start with Malesh Reddy, who is on the call. Malesh, could you please unmute your line and tell us what you're working on?
Yeah. Hi. Can you hear me? This
yes,
is Malesh.
We can hear you.
Yeah, I'm from Drive Smart Global Private Limited. So we have started this company just 4 months back. So we are focusing on the marketplace for driving behavior. So next slide, please. So this is the statement. This is the facts and figures of the current issues on the road. Roughly about 20 to 50 million are injured or disabled every year due to rash driving. 500 billion GDP spent on waiting on the roads due to road usage level on the peaks of every city, everywhere in the world. 15 to 20% of fleets are facing downtime due to uncontrolled driving behavior. This is the important thing we need to see. This was not there. The third point was not there just few years back. What is uncontrolled driving behavior? It is the message, the mobile, the smartphone has made us uncontrollable driving behavior. There is a call, there is a SMS, there is a WhatsApp message, there is a so and so. So there is uncontrolled driving behavior. This is not intentionally or unintentionally, but the person getting the call or SMS, he loses the control and he is creating hack on the road. So this is the 3 key challenges we have actually analyzed and understood. So what is our unique value proposition? These are the 3 key which we are looking into. One is collision detection. Any vehicle moving from point A to point B, if there is a collision, currently there is no solution, automatically identify the collision level. Example is a medium collision, maximum impact or minimum impact, inform to the people, loved ones, inform to the nearest hospital so that a person can save his life. So that's a key important thing. Currently there is no solution at all to identify the collision level, inform accordingly to save his life. So we are bringing to improve this safety. So that is called collision detection. The second thing is driving insights. Currently, driving insights has been monitored or tracked using GPS devices. This is called facts and figures. Example, current proposition is how many kilometers you have driven. Example, where and all you have been, which time you have moved out and in. These facts are there. What does we are saying the driving insights? Today, the vehicle A from point A to B has been accelerated so many times, deaccelerated so many times. Why is this vehicle is every day is accelerating or deaccelerating, or due to the external factor, that's what I mentioned, uncontrolled behavior. So we are going to the next level of driving insights, that's called driving insights. Driving quality scores. So we are actually going and analyzed, understood the, say example, the vehicle is used for 5 years in the leasing companies, the vehicle is being taken back. Currently there is no mechanism to understand the history of the vehicle and assess the value of the vehicle. So this driving scores will analyze completely the dimension or portfolio of the vehicle usage and come up with the scores, so that the assessment will be good one. Second thing is coach a driver so that the availability will be more. So these are the three key, the value proposition from the marketplace. What is our addressable market?
So, sorry, let me clarify this last point. You're trying to say that you're going to help these drivers get more people to pay them to drive them somewhere? What does increased revenue mean?
Yeah, increased revenue means if you specifically go to the fleet company, currently the fleet companies, whether it's a Uber or you can go for a lease companies called lease plan, they have 100,000 vehicles. Every day there are 20% are down. This is due to uncontrollable behavior. So currently these people, these companies do not know the insights, why this uncontrolled behavior, who is doing that, why this is happening. So they don't have the clue at all. So we are bringing the scores to each of these to understand and coach the drivers so that the increasing in availability. So when increasing in availability, automatically.
I have one piece of feedback right away, which is it wasn't clear to me. I don't know if it was clear to you, Jeremy, that this is a product or the solution of being offered to fleets. It sounded like, to begin with, it sounded like it's something that was for consumers.
I mean, we want to focus first as a fleet, then move to consumer also. So take the target addressable market first, immediate necessity, then move to the consumer.
Yeah, but increased revenue is not a consumer value proposition in this context. A fleet may have that need, but consumers don't buy cars to make revenues.
Right. Agree. Yeah.
Okay.
So the addressable market, as I mentioned, is the 5 million vehicles has been leased out across the world, all the leasing companies. So currently they have an app. What does it mean lease? The consumers currently leasing the vehicles from the leasing company for a 5 years term. These vehicles is completely not only leasing. Leasing definition is for currently these leasing companies will give a vehicle for 5 years. They will maintain any issue, repair, proactive repair, reactive support, including issues in the car. If any downtime, they will replace the vehicle also. So currently there are 5 million vehicles, this type of vehicles on the road. So currently these people are offering an app to these customers. Any issue they can reach them. However, they don't have this solution, identifying the collision, driving insights and the driving scores. So we are, as a driving behavior platform, we have come up with called SDK, Software Development Kit. This can be integrated to their app in the backend. It can be any app, Android or iOS or Windows or anything. They can integrate and immediately we can get a data. We process the data. We have come up with the driving insights analytical API. This API can be backend integrate to the fleet companies and they can consume and they can analyze the data in their system. So that's how we have defined. So one side is SDK, one side is API for a driving scores analytical. So these two components will easily integrated to the existing system without disrupting the systems of the fleet companies. So that's the platform is concerned. The business model is concerned. The front end SDK is completely, it's come up with the free. The backend API, if any fleet company wants to access these scores or analytical insights or collision detail insights, they need to pay us a $24 per year per vehicle. So that's the business model. So it's annual advance payable before starting accessing the data.
Malesh, so how much of this is validated? Have you had conversations with fleet owners? Are they willing to, is this something of interest to them? Are they willing to pay $24 per vehicle?
Yeah. Two cases we have already discussed. One is one big company, leasing company called Team Lease. So I know the CEO directly. We have went to them and we have actually showcased the solution, how this benefit to them. Yes, they do agree that this will really benefit to their customer and for them also. So they really want to pilot it. One. Then second, we also spoken to Lease Plan. Lease Plan is a very big company. So we have spoken to them. Yes, they said, yes, there is a most important thing for them is collision detection and scores are very, very important. The reason behind this is currently there is no solution available for them to understand the collision detection or understand the scores also to assess back their vehicle asset when they are taking back. So we have spoken to these two customers. They are actually ready to take the discussion forward. So it is in discussion mode to start the pilot.
Okay.
So the competition is concerned. We have a company in Valley, Zen Drive. They are actually also with the fleet, with the lift. They have also implemented it 100K drivers. So they charge about $48 per year per user. They just raised about 13.5 million from Shopper Capital and BMW iVentures. So that's started this money has been raised just 2 months back in February. Then there is another two competitors. It's called Drive Wisely and Drive Safely. But these guys are second level competitors. They may join the race soon. So this is the who are leading the world in this space. So we have a team of people who is Somashekar. He is all from MIT. He's innovation and his expertise in global leadership. He's a serial entrepreneur. Myself, I'm from MBA Entrepreneur Australia. So I have expertise in marketing and sales from my previous backgrounds in Sony, GE, and iTrans. And there is another gentleman, is Nagaraj, who is Indian Institute of Science. He's a data scientist. He's also a founder with us. So this is the core team. So the projections which we are looking into after the pilot, we are looking at least for the next 10 months or so. We want to reach 100K because the customer acquisition is quite easy if we convince even one customer, because there is once the integration happen, it will be applicable to every customer. So the time of integration is say 30 minutes to integrate a SDK into their system. Immediately within half an hour, every customer can able to use this and they can able to enjoy that. So the duration for customer acquisition is not very big one, until if we convince the customer, it's very easy to customer acquisition. The cost of convincing is more rather than technically getting them on the board. So that the first year is 100K customers, second year is 400K, and third year is 500K.
That sounds weird. 100K, 400K, why 500K? I mean, why does growth rate slow so much?
Yeah,
If you
okay.
got 100K in 2016, why does 2018, why is 2018 500K and not 1 million?
Yeah. So our plan is the fleet, we want to take it within two years, not too much expand to the fleet, because fleet has got a couple of other challenges are there. Maybe we want to enter into consumer segment. So we have in a pipeline another product coming in 2017. So we want to
I wouldn't worry about that right now at all. I would focus completely on the fleet segment and build it as a B2B business. Consumers are consumer is a very different business in your case. And the other thing that looks very weird on this slide is revenue, subscription revenue is 2.4 million, spending 2.5 million. It doesn't make any sense. It looks weird.
Okay. Because
what are you spending 2.5 million on? If it's a question of getting one customer that is going to get you 100K in vehicles, why are you spending 2.5? See, it looks artificial. Jeremy, what do you think? Hold on, Malesh, just a second.
Yeah.
Jeremy?
Yeah, I would think that that you would be able to grow if someone's going to invest in this business, they don't want growth flowing into, you know, 100,000 increase from 2017 to 2018. I mean, if people are going to invest, they're going to want to see incremental growth, and so like you said, you're probably going to want to see 1 million users at the end of 2018 or more, because you want to be able to scale it and scale it quickly if there's going to be investment involved.
Yeah. So Malesh, you were explaining something about your spending line.
Yeah, see, there is a cost of hosting cost. Hosting cost means the cloud cost for one user to hold the data for 1 year and support the one user. There is a cost for it. So there is almost close to $8 is a static fee has been accrued in whole year. So that's one part. Then the second part is there is a $4 the user acquisition cost and the marketing cost.
Why?
Then,
what is this $4 user acquisition cost? $8, let's say that's gross margin. You have to pay a hosting provider. I don't understand the details of that unit economics, but no. Let's say that's that. But why, if you are doing enterprise deals, why is there a $4 customer acquisition cost? Enterprise deals are enterprise deals.
Correct. Initially, because we really need to go and spend some time with the customer, run the pilots 1, 2, twice, thrice, make sure it is really there, it is convinced the proposition, and make sure. So there is a time lapse, the gap is there at least 3 to 4 months. Keep running the pilot for them, make sure it happily runs, and the whole management is convinced. So that time is important rather than acquiring cost. So this cost is mainly pre-sales.
No, I think that's a very incorrect way of quantifying that cost. There is an enterprise sales cycle and there's an enterprise sales cost, but you're bracketing that as $4 per user per vehicle. That's not the right way to quantify that.
It sounds more like a consumer play.
Sorry, go ahead, Jeremy.
I was just saying it sounds more, if you're going to bracket the cost like that, it sounds like more of a consumer type of business, a consumer play where you're good.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
So I think if you actually think about it and you have, you know, 1 or 2, maybe 5 major fleet companies that you're doing pilots with at any given time, and then they're going to start going from pilot to, you know, expanded rollout and stuff like that, there is an enterprise sales cost. This is an enterprise software business. It's not a consumer unit economics kind of business that you're showing here. So there's a big disconnect there. Don't try to do both. They're 2 very different businesses, so don't try to do both. You need to do one, and you need to do it well. So for the next 5 years, you're going to build the enterprise fleet business, and that's going to drive everything.
Okay.
Okay, I think we've given you quite a bit of feedback. I'd like to work with some of the other entrepreneurs. Do you have any questions before we finish?
Today's objective of coming to the session is we want to see your feedback. I think we have already understood the feedback. The second question is we want to ask, are we fundable? I think all that question is always comes into the mind. So we want to see your where we stand 1 to 10. Where are we standing as a just?
You're not fundable yet.
Okay.
You have to show validation before you would be fundable. But if you can show that yes, these customers, at least one of these customers, are saying that yes, we are going to buy, or some indication of buying, then you start to become fundable.
Yeah.
So I don't understand exactly what is the status of your negotiation with these fleet companies, but if you're getting close to them agreeing to build, and then the other question that I would ask you is, if you can get one of these fleet companies to work with you and to think that your product is worthwhile and worth investing in, then why not have them advance? Let's say they give you a 100K advance or 200K advance against the 2.5 million billing that is your first year billing. Use that as seed money and work with customer money, and that gives you a lot more flexibility in terms of funding.
Okay.
That's a great idea. Also, just because I come from the bootstrap model, anything you can do to have proof of concept, to start getting revenue, to building out the software and the SDK before you need to take money. And if you can bootstrap this and use customers' money to do it, and without giving away equity, I would do that in a heartbeat. But again, I'm more of the mindset of to not raise money when you don't necessarily have to.
And always, in the 1 million by 1 million philosophy, we always advise people to bootstrap first and raise money later. If you raise money early, or if you try to raise money early, you spend so much time, you waste so much time, and you don't always succeed. And that energy, that time should be spent on customer acquisition, building the product, delivering the product, selling, generating revenues, not chasing investors.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right,
yeah.
Malish, good luck.
Yeah. Thank you.
Alex Luizos, you are up next from New York. Alex?
Hi. Thank you very much
Hello.
for the invitation. Thank you, Jeremy, Samana. Nice to meet you all. So I would like just to describe what I'm working on, just to entice people. It's not like more like an official investor's presentation, that's the way I see it. So I'm a vascular surgeon, but I left my career in surgery 4 years ago because I believed in the disruptive power of artificial intelligence. So I created this company with the goal of helping the healthcare transit to a model where you can predict. If we can have the next slide, please. So, so this is exactly what I believe is happening right now. Everybody is doing analytics in the healthcare, and everybody is developing algorithms, but nobody uses the medical images to develop these algorithms. And medical images actually are 95% of the medical data, whereas the text is only 5%. So why medical? This is my question. Why do we develop the algorithms in a way that we use in the medical context, in a way that we expect them to behave in very critical decisions, but we don't use the images? Next slide, please. And this is exactly what we do. We have a technology which is called deep learning, which is best-in-class artificial intelligence in the last few years, actually there, and has achieved amazing results, especially for image recognition. And we use this technology to be able to develop medical algorithms which are far more accurate than the state of the art today. Next slide, please. So these algorithms can be used both for diagnosis, and next slide, but also, most importantly, for valuable metadata collection. which translates to cost savings for the hospitals. There is a government-required transition to have a model that hospitals are paid only when they have better outcomes. And right now, hospitals are paid only for their services, so they're reactive. But the new government mandate is that we should pay the hospitals if they achieve better results. In order to achieve better results, we need predictive algorithms. And the results actually depend on how accurate these algorithms are. So we develop these algorithms to help hospitals understand the population, understand the risk, understand the probabilities for complications with the patients, and be able to achieve better results. So they save money, and this translates to eagerness to payment for us. Next slide, please. But there is also like the second potential customer we have, and we are already discussing with, is insurance companies, because they are always interested in more accurate, more granular algorithms to be able to have a better premium pricing. Next slide, please. Our revenue model. So based on discussions, this is for the license for the medical algorithms, but we actually will not develop that. I will have the second slide, please. The primary source of income. Next slide, please.
Hold on 1 second. I don't understand the slide. Are you talking about medical device companies that have already received FDA approval, or are you talking about your algorithms need FDA approval?
So this is one of the potential revenue streams for us, where we develop diagnostic algorithms, but we are actually moving away from this model because it's taking like 3 to 4 years to get there to achieve FDA approval, because the diagnostic algorithms need FDA approval. So we're actually moving away from that, and we're going to this one, which is the deep learning analytics. For analytics, you don't need FDA approval. So we're focusing on this revenue stream, which is actually we're selling to hospitals our platform for $50K per year plus 5% profit sharing upon agreed delta. So how much we save money will be agreed by each hospital, and then how much we make out of it. Say that we have 500 customers out of the 5,000 hospitals in the US for the next 4 years. So we estimate 100K per year per hospital, and the projected revenue is 50 million per year in the next 5 years.
Do you have any hospitals on board right now?
Yes, I have one customer on board right now, and we're working with the second customer. The one customer is also like industry.
This one customer is a paying customer?
Yes, paying customer. Moreover, they are also strategic partnering. Like they are hosting us, they're promoting us, they are helping us they are meeting us with people of high net worth. So they are actually very, very interested in technology. They find it very satisfying, especially the IP potential. The market is the market numbers are big. So the healthcare analytics is now a $6 billion business, but because of this government mandate, it's going to accelerate exponentially within the next 4 years. So it's going to be 18 billion by 2020. Our technology, the deep learning, is just starting as a market, but the predictions is that it's going to be a $4 billion market in 2020. And the diagnostics is a smaller market, so that's why we're moving away from it. But the healthcare, so what we've done, we fundraised 50K from angels and 50K from my own money. We bootstrapped, we developed our product. We are raising now for the seed round in order to be able to accelerate the sales, because it's a long cycle of healthcare when you try to sell to hospitals. So we have already 250K committed by Mass Mutual Fund, and we are closing around 750K. We are finalists in the Mass Challenge Accelerator in Boston, starting this summer. The Bay State Hospital is our first customer, and we're finalizing a deal expected within the next 2 months with another hospital. Plus, we are applying for government money, SBIR, plus EU grants, and we have established a research collaboration with St. Mary's Hospital in the UK, and applying for the Horizon 2020 grant, EU grant. So we can get some EU grants with the hope of helping us to accelerate, bootstrapping and accelerating our R&D. This month we're finalizing our provisional patents for our system, and we are also corporate aware, so we are trademarking our logo and the rest of our material. Next slide, please. So this is a slide that describes what we want to do, what we want to raise, and what we want to achieve. Basically, in a nutshell, we want to raise this money for the next 18 months and prove the customer fit much more. Like one hospital is one hospital, but there is lots of networking and personal connections. So we need to have 2 or 3 more customers as hospitals, and to be able to say that this is our market fit. Now we need to go to Series A to accelerate the sales and achieve the high growth and huge revenue potential we can have.
So, Alex, one thing I'm seeing in the healthcare space, and I've seen several really good companies follow this strategy, is raising money from doctors.
Mm-hmm.
So the question that I have for you is, do you know doctors in the kinds of hospitals that you're working with and so on and so forth, who may be willing to be angel investors in your venture, and that may be one way to get domain knowledge, in your investors?
Yes, I am also a doctor, and I know lots of, actually the 2 angels we have are friends of mine, doctors. So they helped us develop the first version of the product and be able to achieve our first sale with this money by bootstrapping for almost a year now. What I would like for our next steps is to have strategic people that invest in the company, that they can really help us to provide a better C-suite in the future, more insight into the sales of the hospitals, and also like people that can really help us scale up. So I totally agree with what you say. It's very, very good for the first bootstrapping era. But the doctors that actually invest are super busy, are uber busy. Most of them work 100 hours per week. So they do it for the fun of it, but they are not actually helping you strategically develop your company. So that's why we would like to have some smart money into our company rather than individual doctors.
Well, but you're going to, angels that you're going to get are not going to be spending huge amounts of time either, I don't think. And they're not necessarily going to be healthcare angels. Then in that case, you should go find healthcare angels, people who have experience investing in healthcare businesses.
Yes, you're totally right. We are targeting angel groups that are only investing in healthcare.
Yeah, there are some
Alex,
of those, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Alex, really quickly, is this all image diagnostics, or are you pulling other data like blood test data and things like that into your system as well?
Yes, it's image plus text.
Okay.
So it's all the data, which is our unique technological advantage, because everybody else, and this is the best kept secret in the industry, everybody else uses only text. We use both.
Got it.
Not for diagnostics, but for predictive analytics, because diagnostics has lots of regulatory issues.
Sure.
This is our team, our core team. It's me, Tatiana, who is a mathematician and expert in the technology we're using, which is called deep learning, and our designer from New York, Notte Kraus, who is a very, very talented designer. Next slide, please. Plus our board of advisors, who are actually having equity in the company. Jacob Lindemann, he's very, very experienced in technical and scaling up issues. He's been working for high-frequency trading for Fidelity for many years. Now he's retired. Howard Rice, he's very, very experienced in the medical imaging sales space, B2B. Charles, who is very, very experienced also for Asia and Europe in the B2B sales sector. Plus Evgeny, who is a certified accountant and working in the healthcare space in accounting. Next slide, please.
So these kinds of people, the guy that you have, the head of finance of a hospital, these kinds of people would be great strategic advisors as angel advisors, strategic investors as angel investors.
Yeah.
Somebody who understands the finances of a hospital and how you can impact the finances of a hospital, these kinds of people would be really helpful, insightful in selling.
You are totally right. Evgeny helped us a lot to understand how the hospitals choose what they want to buy and not, because they are marginal. They may be having like huge revenue. You can hear something like $2 billion revenue, but actually the profit must be 50 million or less. So it's like 0.5%. They're marginal enterprises in terms of profit.
Okay, good.
So thank you so much for your time.
So
good.
Just one idea that I had really quickly, you know, I have a friend who's a radiologist. He belongs to this big group of radiologists that work for, 100 different hospitals. They all work from home, and you know, all the scans come in, and then people do the readings from their home computer. It may be interesting, to be able to sell this technology to groups like that to help them diagnose quicker, faster, better. It's a huge, huge market. The question that I have: does the technology work, and how much of a savings can hospitals or these groups get in using the technology to become faster, more efficient, and make better predictions of what's happening with the patient?
Well, I mean, I need another year to answer this question exactly with numbers, but I believe that the cost savings can be huge, because right now it's everybody.
Alex, you believe and you can show at two different stages of a company, right? You believe conceptually that it's going to work, and you actually can show in real customer scenarios that it works. That's the question Jeremy is asking you, is like, how far are you from actually being able to show that this technology works? Because that's the first question. In all AI kind of technologies, that's the question that people have. Big question mark is, does it work? And this stuff is complex, right? The technology is complex.
Yes. Direct answer is that we have only 1 month working with the first customer, so we don't have solid numbers yet.
Right. Okay, very good. Good luck, Alex, and we're going to move on. Maureen, should we skip the next person you have here? He's unable to make a phone call, it seems. If you cannot make a phone call, I'm afraid you cannot make a presentation. Okay. Fine. Folks, I'm going to spend a few minutes walking you through how to use 1M, and then we'll go to audience Q&A. So line up your questions, start typing your questions into public chat. Both Jeremy and I will take questions. And you can also, I will put up the phone dial-in number. You can call in as well and ask your questions. So if you like what we're doing here, by the way, it's 1 million by 1 million, please refer the program to other serious entrepreneurs who are, looking to, spend years of their lives building businesses, because building businesses is not a sprint, it's a marathon. It takes years to build real good businesses, and that's the kind of entrepreneurs we are interested in working with, are the ones who have that tenacity. Everything in terms of resources is at 1mby1m.com. You will find a very rich blog, and that is completely free, so you can learn extensively from the blog alone. You can also read the Entrepreneur Journeys book series. These are case study-based books that double-click down on specific topics, and the books are available on Amazon Kindle, all of them. There are 12 volumes. There are tons of video FAQs on the website, so you can dig around and learn about the program, how to use the program, and assess whether this is the right program for you or not. These roundtables happen every Thursday. Actually, we've had over 50,000 people attend these programs so far. You need to register to pitch or to attend on the site. And then we have a premium program which offers extensive methodology guidance, step-by-step guidance on your journey. We have a curriculum that is over 300 hours of curriculum that is taught in video lectures and case studies. You're going to need to budget at least 50 to 100 hours worth of curriculum study, these video lectures and case studies, to really get a handle on our methodology, and that will actually help you accelerate your path, your journey of how to build a business. We help you with business development where we have connections, whether it's customers, channel partners. We help you with this kind of strategy consulting, but much more intense because you're working with the curriculum and the private roundtables. We have private roundtables like this where we do the actual consulting, mentoring, coaching, whatever you call it, but that's the interactive part of the program. We also help you with financing if you are fundable and when you are fundable, and we introduce you to our investor network. And then we have huge clout in the media. Our own social media network is huge, and we have relationships as well, so we help you propagate your message out to the world through that media channel. And that premium program is a $1,000 annual membership fee. You'll find a $1 Million Club that we have published. It's a post on the homepage where you'll meet some of the members of the program who have done well. And you'll also find an ROI analysis of the 1M1M program, which is $375,000 plus 5 to 10% equity worth of value for just $1,000 annual membership fee. The self-assessment is available for free on the website. Do run your business through these questions and try to answer them. They will be the questions investors will ask you, so you should ask yourselves these questions. We've also introduced this year 1M1M Basic, which is a curriculum-only subscription, $99 a month. And you can also start dipping your toes into the 1M1M program using 1M1M Basic before you go to Premium. And that's pretty much it. You'll find tons and tons of information about the program, video FAQs, etc., on the site that will help you decide whether this is the right program for you. We do believe in bootstrap first, raise money later as our mantra. You've heard us discuss that extensively today. So you will need to bootstrap to sufficient degrees of validation such that investors are willing to work with you. And then you can also bootstrap all the way, as Jeremy has done, and many others. So that's pretty much it in terms of explanation of the program. You can ask any questions you like. We'll be happy to answer. Now, those of you who are trying to build local entrepreneurship communities, we partner with various communities, and we have all sorts of things. We have the affiliate program. We also have Incubator in a Box, which is our, program that a lot of communities are using to basically manage a whole incubation program on our platform. Also, a powerful program that has been quite effective. Upcoming free roundtables, all of June, all of July. So we have lots of roundtables coming up. You can definitely take advantage of those. These are some of the more recent Entrepreneur Journeys books. Bootstrapping with a paycheck is a philosophy that we have found a lot of success with to get companies off the ground when you're still in validation phase. Quitting your job often puts you in financial crunch situations, which can be avoided if you use the bootstrapping with a paycheck strategy, so on. So tons of information, tons of material to learn from, and the line is open for Q&A. Please feel free to either call in or use the public chat for questions. All yours. Anybody? And while you're typing in your questions or calling in, let me introduce you to Irina Patterson, who will be your primary contact point from here on. If you have questions about the program, whether it's 1M1M Basic or Premium, or which one is the right program for you, you can always contact Irina, and she will, help you through that decision-making process. Anybody, questions? Folks? Don't be shy. Don't send me private questions. Ileana Ruperti, don't send me private questions. Send the question in, set your public chat to send to all participants so that everyone can see the question. If you want to call in, this is the number. Also, folks, feel free to introduce yourselves. This is a great time to network. Tell us who you are, where you're joining from, what you're working on, what kind of roadblocks and issues you're facing. we have time to understand what your situation is and get to know you a bit. Ileana Ruperti, we are interested in signing up for the program, but we are 2 co-founders. Is this still a single sign-up? Yes, it is a single sign-up. You can share the account, absolutely. Ileana, where are you joining from? Where are you working? What are you working on? Okay. Jeremy, by the way, Infusionsoft is a case study that we have in the program as well. I first spoke with Infusionsoft years ago when they were a lot smaller, but they're a very good bootstrapping case study. But it's a bootstrap first, raise money later case study, and we are huge fans of the company.
Yeah, they've done an amazing job. Actually, they really nailed the execution and the product part of their business.
Really, yeah. Malesh Reddy says, thank you very much for the feedback. We will focus on customer and getting validation. Great. You can't go wrong with that, Malesh. See, the thing is, the more customer and revenue and validation you get, your valuation actually goes up. Whether or not you raise money, if you raise money, you'll be raising money at much better terms, and terms matter. Early stage investments with lousy terms, really, by the time you're done, you're going to own so little of your company. It's not fun at all. Whereas if you look at Jeremy's situation or Infusionsoft's situation, I mean, these are, very well-structured cap tables. Jeremy, you can raise money anytime you want, right?
Yeah, it's a process, but absolutely, we could raise money.
And that's what we like you to be in a position where you go to investors like kings, not like beggars. Where you have great validation, great metrics, and then, if you decide to raise money, you can raise money on very good terms.
I take about 3 to 4 phone calls every week from investment bankers or PE or GE companies,
sure.
Some VCs. I don't do it because I'm wanting to raise money right now, but I'm just building a Rolodex, building my network, trying to get the name of Tanga out there and what we're doing, just so people are talking about us.
Sure, absolutely. And that's what happens when you have reached a certain level of success, then it's the investors who are chasing you as opposed to the other way around, and that's a much more time-efficient situation to be in. Malesh Reddy says one of our big customers, CEO and MD, wants to sit on the board to advise. Also, he agrees to run pilot. Yeah, create a customer advisory board and get customers like this. These are great, customer advisory board is an excellent way to develop the early, product and getting feedback from the customer as well as, having them incentivized to be part of your success. And that's pretty much what I was saying earlier in Alex's company, is that if you can get some of the people who are going to be strategic in the buying decision, and if you can get them to actually invest and become shareholders, that would be a very good way to, build the business. There's a company out of Florida called Modernizing Medicine. You can read the case study on our blog. It's a superb case study, and they have hundreds of doctors who are investors in the company, who are also customers of the business. Malesh, there is no problem with a customer advisory board. You should specifically call it a customer advisory board. Don't put this person on the board, put them on the customer advisory board and build a customer advisory board of, 10 CEOs like this, and you'll have a wonderful pool of intellectual resources to get input from about your product, about the business, etc. B2B leasing customers only 5 years. So, Malesh, it's a little bit hard at this point for me to advise you in this mode. I need to understand your business better. So if you decide to work in the 1M1M program, I will help you think through all these issues. Anybody else? Any other questions, comments, issues, introductions? All right. Well, Jeremy, thanks very much for participating today. And those of you who have pitched, it's been very interesting listening to your businesses. And it sounds like both of you, both Alex and Malesh, have anchor customers that are starting to shape up nicely. So great. Good luck in moving that forward and turning them into actual paying customers. And we'll talk soon next week, same place, same time. We'll hope to work with more of you. And those of you who have questions about the premium program, as I said, please contact Irina Patterson. Her email is irina@1mby1m.com. Thank you, everybody, for coming. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.